Cancel.
Schweezy.
Oh, okay. So I fucking watched Super Size Me in the past week. Everyone's gonna be like, "Why'd you watch Super Size Me? Didn't you watch it in middle school?" Like, yes, I did watch it in middle school. I watched it in middle school health class. My middle school health, like, I really think, true story here. High school health class, it was just a semester. It was just like, it was like one semester of your life and whatever. And they went over sex, they went over general health, they went over, they went over the sex shit and whatever, drinking and shit like that, you know. They went over all of it, and you're like, and it was like actually really good. And they're like, and they really tried to like let you know, like the stats is like, it was taught by a woman. She had a very deep, she had a man voice, but it was a woman and shit like that. So I actually generally got a good health class just because it was like the gym teachers rotating out, and like she taught this sport. I'm like, getting good health, like getting good like sex health talk from like a woman who's like, when it's not weird and it's not like sex is a sin and you'll go to hell, you know, it's actually pretty good. Anyways, though, middle school health was weird because it was like, ask the questions, and they're like, can I get an STD from jerking off? And they're like, no, you can't. Can I get, what happens if I grow a catfish tail on my dick? It was like, you know, like kids would ask questions like that. It was just like unhinged. Middle school was unhinged. And, you know, like we had a weird sex talk, you know, and I true story, I had a shirt that said like, I heart chocolate. I got it at like this Kansas City chocolate store. It was in like, I can't remember. It was some sort of museum, like a kids type of thing. But anyways, I was wearing that on stage, and they were like, "Oh, you got an STD." It was like this woman talking about how she had an STD or something like that, and I got up on stage for that. I don't know how that relates to anything. But anyways, my middle school was unhinged. I think that was like the unhinged period of existence because like I got booed for volunteering for one of this shit. You know, I don't know what to say. But, you know, and then like our health class was unhinged. It was like abstinence, sex talk in middle school, but like normal sex talk in high school, like, or good sex talk in high school, what I had. And we talk about that. Yeah, so it's like just like health class. But middle school, they're like, let's just fucking watch Super Size Me, you know? And, you know, as a grown person, I don't want to say, I feel it's weird saying I'm an adult, but like as a grown person, you know, watching Super Size Me now, I'm like, the Morgan Spurlock guy, he's kind of weird. This experiment's kind of weird too. It's kind of just making you, it's kind of just like shock factor and stuff like that. If you watch, there's like this one like strange addiction type show, and it's like they show you how much like, oh, you only eat French fries every day, always. This is how much you eat in a year. I'm like, it's supposed to shock you how much you eat, but then it's like, as a rational person, I'm like, this is 365 days of me needing to consume food, and specifically one food, to exist. So, like, if you're not smart, you're like, oh my God, that's so much. But if you're a normal person, I'm like, yeah, I assume I probably eat that much shit in a year. Like, that makes sense. So it's back in those times. Where they're trying to do scare tactics. And that's what Super Size Me is. According to Wikipedia, this is what Super Size Me the movie is. Super Size Me is a 2004 American documentary film directed by and starring Morgan Spurlock, an American independent filmmaker. Spurlock's film follows a 30-day period from February 1st to March 2nd, 2003, during which he ate only McDonald's food. The film documents the drastic effects on Spurlock's physical and psychological health and well-being. It also explores the fast food industry's corporate influence, including how it encourages poor nutrition for its own profit and gain. So yeah, that's basically it. And so you watch this whole documentary, stuff like that. The one thing I've not mentioned so far in this little segment we're doing is that I recently learned that Morgan Spurlock, and it's not that long ago, he said, I haven't been sober a week in 30 years. So think theoretically, considering that I'm not 30 yet, and I was born in 93, and this took place in like 2003, 2004, it's not even 30 yet. Like, I was 10 when you did the experiment, Morgan. So, like, he was lying. So, like, I recently learned about this. I'm like, so alcohol is a struggle. And I'm like, I think I kind of know the side effects of what you're going through. So, you know, you look at that, like vomiting, your stomach feeling upset and shit like that. And not to mention in his lab work. And, like, this had to be completely kerfuffled. Because I'm just telling you, the last time I had a real doctor's visit, that's not like a medication refill, like a real doctor's visit, they said there was something going weird on with my liver. And I was drinking a lot at that point. I can't imagine it's gotten better or worse, or it's probably the same. It's probably been good enough to keep it the same. You know, and that's that. And, you know, and I know it's drinking. Like, I know that. Fucking Morgan Spurlock was like, I'm eating McDonald's every day. And my liver is bad. Like, that's legit. Like, what happened in the fucking thing? It was like, I'm eating McDonald's every day, now my liver's bad. I'm like, no. You were drunk the whole time. Like, day 2, he was vomiting out the car. They had that in the documentary. He was vomiting out his car. It was crazy. I probably not gone over the rules yet. Here are the rules. I wrote down the rules. He must fully eat 3 McDonald's meals per day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He must consume every item on the McDonald's menu at least once over the course of 30 days. He managed this in 9 days. Yeah, it's not that big. McDonald's really doesn't have that. McDonald's doesn't have mozzarella sticks anymore, but you know, they don't. He must only ingest items that are offered on the McDonald's menu, including bottled water. All outside consumption of food is prohibited. He must supersize the meal if offered, but he cannot request to supersize on his own. He will attempt to walk about as much as a typical United States citizen based on just figure 5,000 standardized distance steps per day, but he did not closely adhere to this. Yeah, well, clearly you fucking know if you didn't watch this. Dude, supersize, it was just fucking insane. It was just like, it's like health class. Like, you know, I'm an adult now, you know, like, imagine going to your 9 to 5, and you're like, okay, we are 9 to 5. Imagine going to your 9 to 5, and you're watching a fucking guy eat McDonald's for 30 days, and then you just vomit out his window. Like, you're like, why is this my job? You know, like, you have dumb meetings, but, like, even the dumbest meetings at least have a meaning. You're like, hey, don't sexually harass my coworkers. And you're like, you have a whole presentation like that. You could have just, and some guys are like, need to see the video because they're fucking dum-dums. But, like, then you're like, hey, you could just told me, like, hey, don't sexually harass your coworkers, and I would have gotten the memo, and I could have missed that meeting. I don't know. This shit is fucking weird that I watched this in health class. That's the fucking rule of what I had, you know, I fucking do. Like, we watched it, and it was like there was some health thing, like, you gain weight. Like, I assume that you're going to gain weight if you eat McDonald's every day, you know, and this guy did not even, like, get enough exercise or whatever. Like, you know, like, there's guys who work at McDonald's who are like, yeah, I'm healthy and I eat McDonald's every day. And it's like, yeah, because you know how fucking nutrition works. Like, this, like, documentary, like, gave no light to nutrition. It was, like, fucking hilarious. Like, it was like, and I'll also say, because I'm not really keto, but I do keto. I did do keto, like, very religiously all of 2020, which was a waste. And it really does help you lose weight and, like, feel better, but also, like, eating bread makes you feel good. So, you know, but, like, yeah, I do believe keto is the answer, but it's just hard to, there's a lot of answers to it where it's like, well, it's like, it's questionable. Like, is it realistic? Like, can a person do this? I'm like, if you're disciplined enough, you'll do it. But if you're not, you know, it's whatever. Yeah. Anyways, though, my health class in high school is weird. And they had me watch can we talk about, like, you know, I watched Super Size Me. Did everyone watch Super Size Me in school? And I know I'm a fat person. Like, I'm, you know, like, I was a man born in a woman's body. You know, like, I believe that. But I'm a fat person. I'm like a fat person, born in a fat person's body, you know. That's why when I watched this at school, I got really hungry. Can we talk about that? How when I watched Super Size Me in high school, I got really hungry for McDonald's. And then they got rid of the Super Size Me. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, the drink, I like a Diet Coke from McDonald's, so, you know, clean there, health-wise. But, like, some extra fries, extra fucking fries, yeah, that's pretty cool. I feel like the soda is worse than the fries, though, right? I have to be right there. Like, I know potatoes are very, like, carb, starchy, you know, type shit. But, like, Super Size Me fries could not have been... were definitely not as bad as, like, a supersized Coke. Like, if you drank a Coke... You know, I just feel like soda should just... We should just figure out, like, no sodas. Like, soda is so fucking bad. You know, like, I'll drink a Mountain Dew. I love Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew's my favorite, and I'm a redneck. I'm sorry. But, I love Mountain Dew, but, like, daily, though, like, I'll drink Diet Cokes daily. I love Diet Coke. And shit like that. I like Coke. I really like Coke. But, it's so weird how Coke... So, Coke is... Okay, Coke is the original soda. It's the sugary soda. And you assume they made Diet Coke for, like, hey, I like Coke, but I don't like the sugar. You know, I'd like to, you know, drink this. You know, and they figured out an artificial sweetener that, like, is pretty fucking addicting. Like, Diet Coke, it's like, you know, you get a normal soda, I'm like, I'll get one, like, maybe one refill. Diet Cokes, you can get a couple. It's fucking weird. And so, you know, like, I like this soda, but I need it for my diet. Because, like, you know, like, women were getting fat. You know, like, this is probably, like, a true thing. Like, in the 50s, you know, like, women were getting fat. And we're like, diet soda. So you won't be a fat pig for your husband. Shit like that. So, like, that's basically how I assume diet soda turned out. And then, like, Diet Coke is such a brand on its own. It's so weird. So Coke made Coke Zero, which is zero sugar Coke. But that's also what Diet Coke is. And now I'm trying to figure out, but, like, I'm also, and, you know, you assume, like, oh, so Diet Coke and Coke Zero are the same thing? That's the fucking problem, is I can't tell the difference. Coke Zero has a different taste than Diet Coke, because I feel like I'm more masculine when I drink Coke Zero than when I drink the fucking Diet Coke. And it's, like, it's the same goddamn shit. Like, I have to imagine they literally do taste the same. Like, I could literally do a taste test right now, and I could do it. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to have to draw. I think they're the same fucking shit. It's the same fucking shit. And maybe the Coke Zero is a little bit larger, because you're like, do you want to drink diet soda and feel like a man still? I'm like, you know. Also, soda's just, like, so fucking bad for you. And McDonald's makes the best fucking Coke sodas, you know? You know, shit like that. Shit like that. I don't know where this segment's fucking good. All right, so I'm going to talk about a couple more segments I wonder about. So, Jared Fogle had a whole scene in this film. Jared Fogle, before he was the child porn guy, Jared Fogle was a guy who ate Subway and lost a lot of weight. Now, you know, I don't know the true story, but I'm going to assume Jared lost a lot of weight. But, like, Subway, he ate Subway, you know. He ate Subway and he lost a lot of weight. And both, you know, you could even say this guy ate McDonald's, but he lost a lot of weight. And you're like, oh, he ate super healthy for 3 months, then ate McDonald's once. So he ate McDonald's and lost a lot of weight. So that's what I'm meaning here. So Jared Fogle lost a lot of weight, and then Subway want to be like, this is a great idea. We're going to get people to fucking buy our goddamn sandwiches in every gas station and truck stop across America. And if you're not a touring musician, or I'm not, and you go to a lot of truck stops, if you're a lot lizard, hit me up. But if you do that, you're kind of weird. But as a guy who goes to a lot of truck stops for music, yeah. Welcome to Subway, eat fresh, or whatever, you know, shit like that. And so it was, like, funny. And then you just had Jared Fogle being, like, a normal guy. You know, be, like, who Jared was you know, who his public performances before he was known as the fucking child porn guy. Like, god damn, dude, Jared Fogle, like, the fall from grace is like, his grace was the guy who lost a lot of weight eating Subway. That's the grace. But, like, then he created a child porn empire, and then he, like, that was the fall from grace. Like, I don't even know, dude. But it was just so fucking funny. And, you know, and then Jared Fogle, you know, he went out on his little presentation thing in the documentary, and he's like, my biggest vice was food. I'm like, Jared, your biggest vice was not food. Your biggest vice was, as the abbreviation would say, C as in caterpillar, P as in pineapple. That's the word I feel like would be your biggest vice, Jared. I think you're like, I deserve my place in hell. I'm like, you deserved your place in jail. Dude, jail does not... The child touchers in jail. Like, imagine, like, child toucher really is the worst thing you could be in your life. Like, you know, like, I thank God every day I'm attracted to children, you know? Like, but, like, you're like, it's like, my precious. Anyways, though, fucking, we're not going to get into that. Oh, no, they went to another guy. We're just talking about the shit just made me laugh. The fucking guy get ready to get his gastro bypass surgery. He's fucking like, yeah, I drank so much soda once I was blind. I was blind for a week. And it's like, he was blind for a week from being fucking fat. And I was fucking laughing my ass off. It's like, this dude is fucking like, you know, I was drinking so much. I got so fat I was blind for a week. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like, I believe it, but like, what the fuck do you do to get into that situation to start off with? Like, it's fucking crazy. I was laughing my ass off, dude. It was some funny shit. Yeah, those are my two favorite parts. But also, I just want to remind you all, I watched this in middle school. I was in middle school. Like, this documentary came out, and I was in middle school. And then they showed it in middle schools. I watched Morgan Spurlock get a prostate exam. It was blurry. So does that make it better? No. It makes it a little bit fun. That's why, like, you know, when they bleep out words, it's funnier to millennials and shit like that. Like, this shit we went, like, I was the tail end of it. Like, this is the shit we went through. It was like the unrefined thing the Gen Z kids got. That's like, I was the tail end of the millennials. That's the shit I got. Oh yeah, and Morgan Spurlock had like naked chicks all over the walls of his apartment. He had a fiance, and he was also an alcoholic throughout the entire thing. Make sure you watch it with those goggles on, that he was an alcoholic. I mean, go into this show knowing I'm an alcoholic and just have fun. You know what? Fuck it. I don't give a shit about you. Yeah, watch it. And it's on Peacock. I had to watch ads before I watched it because it's free with my phone with ads, and I'm not paying for it. So thank you, Peacock, for having supersized me. I'm not going to watch the second one, folks. We're not watching the second one. Like, it's not going to happen. Hey there, you just checked out a highlight from Cancel Schweezy. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you learned something and that you are now a smarter individual. Just so you know, we have full episodes and other many highlights available now. Click here for the next best thing that you can go check out as well. And make sure you press that subscribe button and press that notification bell. That way you get updated anytime we make a new post or anytime that we make a new highlight or full episode. So thank you, honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.